back to Wild and Free Art. Today my video is going to be a little bit different from usual because I kind of need your help on making a decision, and you'll see what it's about shortly. But for those of you who have been following, you might have seen on either my shorts or on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Facebook, that I uploaded a little reel about my car boot discoveries over the past weekend. And at the very end of the reel, I showed you a glimpse of what was the best find in the whole wide world, in my opinion. And I wanted to have make a video where I shared with you a little bit more about this, because as excited as I am about it, the people that I've tried to talk to about it just don't understand, because they don't have such a love of books like I do. And I thought maybe you guys would enjoy looking through this along with me as well. But the point is that today I'm going to have you help me look through this and decide what on earth I have to do with it. So I am going to turn the camera around so you can actually see the book itself, and we'll go through it. We'll look at some little bits, and hopefully you can help me make my decision on what to do with it. I have done some research on it, and I found out that when it's in one piece, it could be worth a certain amount of money, but because it's not in one piece, it might not be worth that. And having it restored might be worth another costly amount. Anyways, we'll get to it when we go through this. So I'm just gonna turn it around and let's have a look at this beauty. Here it is. I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit because it's pretty big. So I'm just gonna adjust this a little. Don't mind the chaos as usual. I've had to put it on the kitchen table, on the dining table, because it's too big for my desk. I just thought I would come in and show you the details of it and share a little bit of its history that I've discovered in doing my research this week about it, and we'll take it from there. Let's start with the size. So, lengthwise, we're looking at probably 13 inches. So that would be about 32, 33 centimeters. It is 22 centimeters wide, so about 8.5 inches. And it is at the spine. We have a good 3.5 inch spine, I would say, about 10 centimeter spine, and that includes the book boards. So it's big. I haven't checked how many pages it has yet, but you know, I don't even know if it even has page numbers on it. Probably does. Venus. Okay, it has page numbers up to the tables, but the tables are quite a lot. So I'm actually not sure if it does have page numbers on it. So it's hard to tell how many pages it has. But anyways, the point is, it's gorgeous. So when I did research online, I found out that this is a leather-bound book, and you can see that's real leather here. It's so soft, the suede underneath, and you've got really heavy-duty book boards. It has hand-marbled end papers. Well, one of them anyway. The other side has it all in one piece, and it's a bit torn and ruined here, but the corners aren't even that worn out and stuff like that. So it's beautiful end papers. It was edged in a kind of burgundy red color, which has, of course, kind of faded a little bit to a brownish color over the years. And there you can see that's the other piece of the end paper, and that's how it would have been like full. So let's zoom in so you can see the gorgeousness of that. Look at this. I mean, and the books that I saw online, the end papers were different because each end paper was made from separate sheets, and it was made differently depending on, you know, each book itself. So that is super exciting. It is missing the spine cover completely. So the leather here is missing, and it would have had the title on it. And there is a breakage in the text block where the thread has broken in the binding, and only the two head and tail ones are still in one piece. And obviously there's no head or tail band left at all. But this part here is still pretty solid. I mean, not all of it. You can see it is coming apart. And now, for those of you who have been wondering, what is it all about, this book? Let's have a look. And when was it made? I did kind of tell you already that it's 400 years old. And I will zoom in for you. Here we go. And if you can see here, it says, at London, printed by John Dawson for George Humble, and these are hard to, R2 B Fold in Pope's Head Palace, at the sign of the White Horse, cum privilegio, which means with privilege, anno year 1632. And it's by John Speed. And it is the history of Great Britain under the conquests of the Romans, Saxons, Danes, and Normans. Their originals, manners, habits, wars, coins, and seals with the succession, lives, act, and issues of the English monarchs, from Julius Caesar unto the reign of King James, the famous memory. This one was the 3rd edition, and it has been revised, enlarged, and newly corrected, apparently, with sundry descents of the Saxon kings, their marriages and armies. And it has this absolutely beautiful seal on it, or design on it here. And it has even some notes that have been taken over. Someone wrote something on here. Someone's used it to do some math calculations. I don't know if you could see here. Someone's even written hi on it. Don't know where that one comes from. But this was apparently number 396. Sorry, here you go. And I don't know if that was part of a collection at some point, if this was being kept somewhere. I don't know. It does not smell musty at all. It smells clean. The papers themselves, except for a little bit, here you can see there's a bit of insect chewing here. But considering it's 400 years old, I really don't think that it is in that bad shape as the text block, as far as the text block is concerned anyway. So let's have a look through it a little bit, and I'll show you some of the details. I'll put a little bit of music on, and we'll go through everything, and then we will discuss what to do with this beauty here. I'm just so in love. I can't even just get over it. I really can't. So here we go. Okay, so what did you think? Isn't it just glorious? I can't get over it. Anyway, and in case you were wondering how much it cost me, hold on to your seats, folks.
Yes, hold on to your seats.
It cost me £15. £15 is probably equivalent to about 18, 19 euros, which would be maybe about 25, 26 US dollars, possibly. Not so sure about the exchange rate at the moment. But yeah, roughly around that price. So whatever currency you convert it into, I think it was a steal, in my opinion. That being said, my question is, what do I do with this beauty? As I said, I did look online and I found the same book in fairly good condition with its full cover and spine for prices ranging between $500 and almost $1,000, which is insane. But obviously, those ones have been restored. And although I could see at the beginning, I noticed there are some bits here that have been restored on this book. Especially at the beginning, I found a page edge that had been adjusted. It was coming off. The glue was coming off, and it had been restored probably at least once in its lifetime. It currently is not in condition to be sold at that price, and I'm not sure if I would want to be honest. So I have a few options here. One is to just leave it as it is and put it like on a display stand and randomly turn the page once in a while and change what it is. Two, I could round up the money that I need, which to have it professionally restored. But that is going to cost a small fortune, and it's probably money I don't really have. Three, I could try and do it myself, restore it myself, though I have never, ever done conservation work like that. I do not have the leather crafting skills to save this baby, I don't think, and I might make it worse before I make it better. And the other alternative is to use it, to take it apart and use the papers that are in it and use it for making art and turning it into other beautiful things. Definitely, I will be scanning or photographing some of it no matter what. And if you're interested, I could provide them as digitals. I am pretty much 1,000% sure that 400 years is enough for copyright. I'm not sure if the descendants of this man who made it are still around. I'll do a little bit of research just to be sure, but I'm definitely going to make some copies of some of these pages that are absolutely stunning, just to preserve them too, just to have it, you know. And then as for the other pages, I thought I could take some out and use them as prints, put them in a frame, because some of them are just too gorgeous, really, they truly are. And I think they deserve to be seen and not kept in a book. And then the others, like mostly the text pages and, you know, some of the ones with the coins and that kind of thing, to be used in journaling as pages in journals. They're huge. They can be used for so many things, for collage, for, well, a lot. And there's a lot of pages. For those of you who've also taken a moment and done my survey that I posted a couple weeks ago, probably by the time you see this, I'm also thinking of making some subscription boxes, themed, not themed. I'm still going through everyone's feedback, and thank you, by the way, for taking the time to do that. If you'd like to hop on and still, provide your answers on the survey, it is still in the community post tab. You can just have a look, click on the link and fill it in. I've got pretty much an idea now of what I want to do, and I will be, of course, talking to you about that later. But obviously these would be a beautiful, magnificent addition to those boxes. I would, of course, carefully take apart the sewn signatures and put in the whole folio piece, folded probably, because that does not look like it's going to fit an A4 box. But so yeah, that's my decisions that I have to make. So what do I do with this beauty? Please let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear your opinions on it, and then I'll let you know what I decide in the end based on your input. If you've enjoyed this, please take a moment to consider liking and subscribing, maybe sharing it with your friends. I would really, really love to be able to keep growing my channel and share all of this amazingness with all lovers of book and paper arts out there. In the meantime, happy creating, and I will see you soon. Now I'm going to have a cup of tea. Bye-bye.